Well, I bought another car. This is going to be car number 15. Now this one's a bit of an experiment. What I've done, I've tried to find the cheapest car I could possibly find, which is difficult because you can find cars for $3,000 which are totally wrecked. So I managed to find one for $8,000, which is still a bit higher than I'd like to spend for this experiment, but it's the best condition car that I could find in the year model with the kilometers that it has. So let's have a look. So this is car number 15. This is a Nissan Pulsar. It is a 2013 model, and you can see it's in really good condition. So I bought this from a wholesaler. The bonnet's been repainted. There's a few little nicks and marks which you're going to expect from a car this age. Bit faded up top. Paint's a little bit faded up top, which I think will be okay. Wheels are in good condition. I'm going to have to get this window tint redone. You can see a little bit of fade on the boot here as well, which I'll give it a good polish and hopefully help some of that. But overall condition is really good. Now when it comes to an older car, the big things are mechanical and cosmetic, as in paint. Now you can see this door is a little bit worse for wear. I'll give it a good polish and sort of bring that back to life as best I can. Maybe even repaint those at some stage as well. You can see that fade. So it's really hard to find a good car at this age that is in good cosmetic condition. The big thing that you need to look at when you have a car of this age is mechanical. Now obviously we have a mechanical shop, we have our mechanics look over these cars, but this car has 182,233 kilometers. So that's quite high, but that's okay as long as the car has been serviced regularly and maintained. So Nissan, Toyota, Mazda, I have no issue with those cars going over 200,000 Ks as long as they've been well maintained. And this one has. So you can see inside is in really good condition. Seats are good. I'll give these seats a shampoo. The door cards are in good condition. This gear knob, I can replace that quite simply. And the rest of the car is in really good condition. So for me personally, I'd have no issue renting this car. Now the one big issue that I do have is this head unit. Now you can see it's old and melted and it's just a bit of age, so I'm going to be able to pull that out and put a new head unit in. I can do that myself quite simply. So, but that's the only real issue. An old dash mat up here, which I can put another dash mat on. It was nice sky before, but then it just started raining quickly and very windy very quickly. So one of the big things when you have a car this age is, would you hire it? Because if you wouldn't hire it, then no one else is going to do it, and you can't expect your customers to hire it as well. So for me, would I hire this car? Absolutely I would. It's in really good condition, it presents really well, it's clean, it's tidy, and at this 2013 age with this many Ks, I can list it at a really competitive price for people and give them a cheaper option. And what that does is open you up to a broader customer market. Some people can't afford $100 a day or $60 a day. They can only afford $40 or $50 a day. And you need all types of customers to round out your business. So I think adding a car like this, again, brings you another component of your business that you may not have filled already. To list a car on Turo, it can be from 2013. It just has to have under 200,000 kilometers. And this car for me is a 2013, it has 182,000 kilometers. So I double checked with Turo to make sure I could list it before I bought this car, because again, it's an investment. You're investing your own money, make sure you get it right. And Turo gave me the green light that I can list this vehicle as well. So I'll get this car listed up on the platform. This will be the oldest car I have with the most Ks. So the big things you want to think about is mechanically, making sure everything is mechanically perfect. The last thing you want to have is your customer stuck on the side of the road somewhere because something's gone wrong. So for us, we've had our mechanics go through the car. We've replaced, we'll look at replacing anything that needs to be replaced. At this stage, everything looks great. It's got great service history. All the major components have already been replaced as well. The car's in really good condition. So for us, no further investment required, bar just a bit of elbow grease to help cosmetically sort of restore some of that paint to get it back to a stage that we would be happy with. So overall we can get this car listed up today and start making some money. For this car, what I think is going to happen, because this is car number 15, this I can make the cheapest car in my fleet. So I'll do some research and talk to Turo about what we think we can get for a day rate. But I'm also thinking there's another benefit, which is if I, let's say for example, list this car at $59 per day, then the cars that cost me $30,000, $40,000, I can then increase that gap between the lowest car to the mid cars, and I can maybe get another $5 per day or $10 per day on those vehicles. So it's also going to allow me to increase my overall pricing strategy across my entire fleet, I think. So we're going to experiment with that a little bit as well. And because I think when it comes to pricing and sales, you need to have different tiers. So you can have a high tier, a mid tier, and a low tier. And by having a low tier, that allows you to increase the price of the middle and the high tier, I think as well. So we'll experiment with that when it comes to the pricing of the day rate as well. The big question is, how much money can this car actually make? And we won't know until we get it up on the platform today. So I think from the history of my cars the last 2 years, this car should make anywhere between $800 to $1,000 in revenue, obviously not profitability. And depending on how your business is structured will depend on how much money you can make in the back end when it comes to deductions and depreciation. But for me, $8,000 spend, I should be able to get $800 to $1,000 a month, I think, on average. But the customer will tell me if I'm right. And at that should take me 8 to 9 months to then have that fully owned outright. Now this is pending nothing going wrong, right? This is a 12-year-old vehicle, so mechanically, even though we think everything is right, things happen. A aircon compressor could go down, or we could be up for brakes a bit quicker than we think, and all of a sudden these costs can add up and push back your sort of ownership period of that car. So realistically, I'd like to think that this car would be fully owned outright within 12 months. I don't want to overstretch the goal and push to make it happen and be disappointed when it doesn't. But I honestly think within 12 months this car will be fully paid back, and then every dollar from that will be a profit-making machine. Now, the other benefit I think from having the cheaper cars, because I've got 7 cars I own outright now, is that you can then use that cash flow to fund other purchases. So we have a new car coming, which is almost $50,000 for this car, and we've got a loan for that car. So to fund the loan, you then use the cash flow of these cheaper cars to be able to afford to fund the loans on those cars, because you never know, God forbid everything goes well, but if those cars aren't out on hire, you still have to pay that debt. And by having these cheaper cars turning over all the time, that then allows you cash flow to be able to cover the expenses of those cars as well. So I think this will be interesting. We'll report back on this car in, let's say, 3 months and 6 months, and see if we've actually made any money off it. And then that'll allow you to help you make a decision on if you should then look at buying a cheaper car. But I think the big thing is mechanically. We have an advantage where we have a mechanic workshop, and that allows us zero downtime with cars, and we can fix things quicker and cheaper. But if you don't have that, it may not be a viable option to have a car with that high Ks. But you could also, this car could have no issues at all and be a really good run. So I'll leave it up to you and your circumstances, but let's have a look if we can make this car work and actually make it some money, and see if Turo is a viable option for a car that costs $8,000 from 2013. What I would like to experiment with is, can you get a cheap car and can it make money on the Turo platform? Because not everyone can afford $40,000 and $50,000 cars and to have on the Turo platform, but you may have an older car that you have at home, a second car that you don't really use as much, and you might be wondering, can you list it on Turo and make money? So today we're going to have a look at that. We're going to list this car 2013 with 182,000 Ks on it, in decent condition. It's not perfect condition, but it's in decent condition for a 12-year-old car. And we're going to see, can we actually make money off this car? Is Turo a viable option for you as a way to generate additional income? If you do find value from this video, please do me a favor. These videos take me a lot of time. I have main businesses that I run that take up time, and I give it back to the community for free. So if you could do me a favor, subscribe, like, comment, share, all the business that everyone does. And if you are looking to join Turo, there's a link in the description that you could then click on to get some benefits, and by doing that I can also help you set up your Turo and get you profitable in no time as well. So appreciate that, enjoy the video, and see you in the next one.